you have to check in your preferences how you have your interpolation set. I have nearest neighbor. If I want to keep that nice soft tonal edge, I'll put bicubic here. That will allow my tonal edge to remain the same if I transform the size. So I'll click the transform tools, and then I'll click in the corner, of course hit the link so it stays in proportion, and I can change the size, and now because I have the bicubic on, this will stay nice and tonal. So I can turn it around and then hit the enter key, and I can make another copy, and I can turn this around, click the corner, pull it in, hit the enter key, and now if I have this flower off the side of my document, any of these flowers, keep in mind when you are saving this document, that flower is still there going off the edge. So this document is actually in reality bigger than what you see here. So this hidden part will come back if you pull it in, unless you use the crop tool. Once you take this crop tool and go along the sides of the edges, that document is cut. I will show you. Here you can pull it in, out, and you see the transform box is along the side for these two flowers. But once I take the crop tool and I cut along the edges and I say crop, now if I pull this flower in, you see the transform box is different. If I pull this flower in, it is cut. So keep that in mind. Cropping slices off the edges. If you don't crop it, your image is still there under the gray area on the sides of the edges. Now, you might decide you want to bring one of the other flowers in to have a little bit of a different flower, different type of flower here, a different view, an angle of the flower. You can go back to your original, and you can use the Magnetic Lasso Tool. This is a wonderful tool that I use a lot, and it works the best when there's a nice defined edge. So you just select the tool, and you just left click your mouse button and drag it around the item that you want to select and capture. And you see how it goes right on, grabs right onto that edge. And I'm purposely going to try to mess up here, and there it gets a circle when it ends. I purposely wanted to mess up here because I want to show you how you would fix it. If you messed up, you would fix it by selecting any one of the tools and select the Add To or the Take Away. Now if I want to add to the selection, I can I'll do it right here. I'll add to the selection here. I use the lasso tool, and I can use the polygonal tool, and I'll add here, add, and I have a little plus in the lower right corner, add. Now I'm purposely doing this in 3 or 4 steps to show you how to use the tool. So I can take it here, and I can add, go to the edge. There it is. And now there's a little section over here I would like to take away. So I'll hit Take Away, and I have the minus there, and I'll click out here, and you see it took it away. Or I can use the lasso tool, and I can add on the edge here if I want to. Oops, I took away by mistake. I can always go backwards, or I can just fix my error, and here I can take some away. So this is how you would extract something and then fine-tune what you've extracted. You can just go real close in with the tool and then fine-tune it so it contains everything that you want. And you can either use these little slider bars that I'm using, or you can use this little red frame up here. So once you get it the way you like it, then you go copy, and then you click onto your new document, and you go paste, and there it is. And then you can go close in, and you can either touch it up with the eraser tool to look the way you want. That's one way of doing it. Or you can make the other layers invisible, and you can select, and you can, so you would select and you would invert, and then you would contract, and then you would feather, because we want to make it look like the other flowers that were there, and then we would invert again and delete. And now we have it looking, we'll put the other layers on, and it looks just like the other flowers. And if you want, you can always make another layer of that, duplicate that layer, move it around, put on your transform, make it larger or smaller, hit the link so it's in proportion, and then hit the OK. And that is how you would use the selection tool.